All right, so now I will show you on how to properly reference an object. Referencing an object is useful if you want to be able to import an object into the scene, but yet still keep the ability to modify the original object if there's anything wrong with the original mesh, or if there's any extra detail that you want to add to the model. So I'm going to make a new scene. I'm going to make this a room scene where I'm just going to make a plane. I am going to make a huge plane, and yes, this is technically not really a room, but for now it is. Floor. Okay, so assume that is the floor. Okay, so this time, if we go to File, what I'm going to redirect you to this time is, okay, instead of going to, okay, typically you might have used the import and export if you have in the past, but what I want to redirect your attention to is the references. That we want to go to Create References. So if you click on Create References, you'll have a new window open, and Create References is essentially like telling you, what model do you want to add to the scene? I want to add both the box. Oh, you can only do it one at a time. So let's add the ball first. So I'll hit Reference. And then, as you can see, I have the ball within the scene. And then I'm able to move and translate the ball. But however, what I can't do to the ball is, if you want to, let's say, change the color of the ball, you would have to do that in the ball file directly. So, in other words, if you want to modify the actual source material, you have to access the source material in order to modify what you need. So therefore, I have the ball in place, and then I will create the reference. I'll do it again. This time I'll have the box. Yes, you'll notice that the one annoying thing about being a student is that every time you import an object, you'll have an annoying pop-up reminding you that you're a student, that you can't afford the full version of Maya. Yeah, that's the one downside of referencing. The one downside is every time you then load the scene, you'll notice that you know how you get this file is created by a student version. Now that I have 3 files, that pop-up will appear 3 times every time you open the scene. A bit annoying, but I guess that's the one downside of this having a student license. Yes?
So if theoretically, for some reason, you're going into, for example, the box file, if you delete the box you made it differently, you have to re-reference it, or would it just automatically load up?
If you were to modify the same file, if you were to modify the same base box file directly, like if you completely replace box, then all changes made in the source file will reflect in your updated root file as well. So it wouldn't automatically go over essentially. Okay. But suppose that you made a new box rig and you want to replace the first box with a new, maybe because you didn't like your first attempt. What you can do is, there's something called Reference Editor. You go to your Reference Editor, and what you can do is, notice how I have the box and a ball. You can go to box, and then you can go to, there should be so essentially this will allow you to, there should be a way to, yeah. Okay, so what you have to do is you go to the box. What you do is you go to Reference and you go to Replace Reference. And by going to Replace Reference, it'll then load up the menu again. And if you have like another copy of a box, if you go to Replace Reference, it'll replace the placement of the first box with the second box.
So that's if you don't make a file, this is a file.
Yeah, if you make changes on the same file, like if you change like the material in the box, for example, it will automatically be updated when you open your room scene. So this is just nice to know for reusability reasons. Yes.
So I don't know if this is a really dumb question, but when you actually animate it, are we going to be animating in the room scene and then putting the references in the room scene, or do we have to animate them outside of the room scene?
Oh, No, this is understandable. No, I get your question because, you know, we have separate files. Which one do we animate in? We will animate in just the room scene because essentially it's just like importing the box and ball, but we've imported a box and ball in a way that's more reusable and modifiable just in case. But other than that, all the keyframing and all the animations, which we will discuss next week, will all be done within the room scene. All right. That is about it for all I have to show in terms of setting for the setup process for the box and ball grid. Are there any further questions or comments? Or any further questions or comments? All right, well, that's all I have to say for now, so get started, get working.